What's up? We back with another episode of 401 Uncut. Today I got a special guest on the couch, man. My boy, it's about time he done got on this couch too. BigHead PGE, what it do?
What's going on with you?
How you feeling, man?
I'm alright. I'm blessed. I can't complain. I'm on
Yes.
top of the ground and the ground ain't on top of me.
Hey, okay. Hey, let me say something though. I see you working, man.
Indeed.
The work ethic is impeccable. I want to say that I see that you've been clowning, doing your thing. You've been consistent, and I just want to give you your salute on that,
Appreciate that.
man.
Appreciate
For
that.
sure. So we'll get into that though a little later. We'll talk about all that good stuff. But first things first, man. Big Head, I want you to let the people know where you from. What part of the city you from? We know you from Cincinnati, up and down, but what part of the city you from, man?
I'm from Avondale, the east side of the city. Um, yeah, Avondale, Ohio.
Wow. What? Now you know Avondale is pretty big as well. So what street? What part?
Blair Ave, Money Ave, 800, that 5. So yeah, all my life, never grew up nowhere else. I didn't go to another neighborhood or come from another neighborhood. That's where I'm at. That's my real roots.
Yeah. So
But
that's
I've
really
been
where it's from.
around a lot of the city. But I rep Avondale. That's my homeland.
For sure. Now, what was it like for you being a kid and growing up in Avondale and Blair? What was that like?
It was I say it was normal because it was my environment. It was normal for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it was normal.
Hmm.
I ain't had no struggling. I couldn't find my next meal story. I ain't had that. I had a good mom. My dad wasn't really there, but I feel like sad to say that's a typical story. But
Hmm.
it wasn't really nothing too much that I didn't handle. So yeah, I
For
feel like I
sure.
had a good childhood. It was yeah, I learned a lot, and I wouldn't take it back because I hear a lot of other people childhood stories, and a lot of people had it way worse. So I'm blessed.
No, for sure. You said your mama, she really held it down. So it's just you and
Hmm.
her, or you the only kid, or you
Uh,
got siblings?
nope, I got 3 siblings all together, and they all girls. But my mom got 2 daughters and me.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. So you the only boy,
Yep,
and
only
where you
boy.
fall in line in that?
I'm the middle child.
You the middle child.
Hmm.
Okay, so you got a big sister and a little sister.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, as a kid, what was you into? Was you into any hobby, sports? Did you play any?
Yeah, into a little bit of everything. Soccer, baseball. I wasn't shit in basketball, but football, everything. Shit, I played for the Avondale Lions growing up. Anybody from Avondale, they know the Avondale Lions, the Avondale Warriors. Played for them. I did a little ball in middle school. Played
Okay.
football. So yeah, I had a couple hobbies. Read. I was a smart kid, so I did a lot of things. I had my attention was used good.
For sure. Now, what high school did you end up going to?
I went to a couple different high schools throughout the years growing up, but my main one was Woodward. So I'm a bulldog at heart.
Okay, so yeah, heart you a
Hmm.
bulldog. Now, did you finish out there?
No, I didn't finish at Woodward. I ended up getting expelled. I done brought a gun to school, young, 16, knucklehead, into the wrong things, but I got expelled from there, went to life skills, but then I dropped out in the 12th grade, which is crazy to me. I think about it,
You only had a few months.
only needed like 3 or 4 more credits,
Yeah.
passed all but it was just, my environment. But I did some time in 2020 and got out in 2022. But I got my GED while I was in there.
Yeah. That's good that you.
So, yep, shoot, it felt just as good as a diploma because I,
Mhm.
I started something and I finished it and I did it for my mom. So that was good for me,
Yeah. Now
for
I
sure.
want to rewind back because you saying like at 16 you bringing the blicky to the school like and you getting expelled is
I could laugh about it now, but in hindsight, it was living wrong, just misguided. That's just what I could just misguided. If I was
Mhm.
guided in the right direction, I would have never made a decision to bring a gun to school. So that's just as a kid, when your prefrontal vortex don't develop until you're 25, that decision was beyond me. So I can't take it back, but it happened.
Yeah. How would you say you was when you really started? Like, I mean, because anybody know Avondale is definitely, Blair. If you're from Cincinnati, hey,
Yeah.
it's the city. Like it can go down over there. So tell me, how old were you when you feel like you actually was like really outside and starting to get into things? Because you carrying a gun at 16 in school. What age did you really like get outside?
I say I say me as everybody say jumping off the porch. I say when I first started smoking weed, really 13 years old. And that's just getting into little stuff leading up to everything. I feel like that's just a gateway. No matter, and
Yeah.
it ain't really about. And people say it ain't, but it ain't really about what the drug or what the drug do or what the weed do. It's just the surroundings it brings and the things you do. And you young, you ain't getting no money really to even support a habit. So you might go steal or you might take some change out your mama, just mischievous shit.
Mhm.
So that's when it started, and then it just gradually graduated due to my environment. Mom would work third shift at Amazon for years, so third shift, I'm young, I'm the only one in the house. I ain't at daycare. I'm 12, 13, 14 years old. Shoot, she going to work till 5 p.m. to 7 in the morning. That's prime hours of me sneaking out the house, locking the door, coming back in before she get to work. So it was just that
Yeah.
easy. So you can just imagine what I found to do in the meantime of that. With
Yeah.
having nothing else to do, no father in the house, so I wasn't having no, during that time, school out, activities out is so what I'm gonna do is just sit in the house, watch TV.
You're
So
gonna
it
go
was just
outside and
going
explore.
outside to the park, and that just lead to meeting different people around the neighborhood and getting into what I got into.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. Now, what happened where you end up leading and then having to go to? You said you had to do some time in 2020.
Yeah.
Um,
For the well, I did some time in 2020 for a Fed charge. My first adult case, which was crazy to me.
and for the people that don't know, 2020 is our juvenile detention center
Oh,
here
oh, oh, oh! You
in
talking about? No, I was meaning I had did some time in
2020.
the year
Yeah, 2020.
2020,
Got you, got you.
but I did do some juvenile time too for that gun.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
I did 30, I think 30 or 45 days. I'm not gonna lie, juvenile, that's hard, it's sweet. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie, and it's been that way for years because it's just like, what can you do with a child? Is more at home, so it's like you lock a kid up. I mean, he's still a kid. The kid getting locked up. It ain't really. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I did that. It was some petty time, but shit, I learned from
Facts.
it.
But then so you said you end up getting your GED.
hmm
Now once you get your GED, you home. What was next for Big Head after that? Where you really kind of like you done did your time, you done got expelled, but you graduated. Was you really kind of going deeper into the streets at those times, or did you try to get a job, college?
When I first got out, I worked at Rumpke. I was not playing no games. My first 90 days, I accomplished more than probably a lot of people in years. Like, I
Mhm.
never had my license. I didn't know how to drive before I went to jail. I got out, got my license within 30 days, got a car within 60 days.
And it's coming out of the 40,
Oh,
or
you
is this
talk out of the no,
which
no,
time
out
we
of the
talk about?
feds.
Out of the Fed?
Out of the
Yes.
feds. So I just had something different on my mind. I wanted to do something different. I had my daughter, so I went in. She was 7 months.
And
And
how old was she when you had got out?
she was two, 2.5, 3 when I got out. Two. So
Gotcha.
it was a lot of time. I just wanted to do something different. I couldn't keep being out on the block hanging around and just doing knucklehead shit that don't really mean much and just listen to. And there was a lot of people that was around me that I learned because I'm a listener and I'm just not a, I try to learn from everybody. I was brought up around older people my whole life, so I was just trying to, you know, really just take all the information in and just try to make my life better. I know I didn't want to do the same thing and get the same consequences or the same reaction.
Cause you said they get, and this is a Fed case. So
Yeah.
did you have more time than that? Did they trying to give you more, but you got to get the
Oh
two?
yeah, shoot. I had 3 counts of selling guns to a prohibited person. Somebody set me up that they they wore wire on me and I sold them 6 guns. Got uh I had a lock plea for 30 months and did 21 months on that, 30 months and 4 months in the halfway house, but Yeah, that was, and I'm not gonna lie, that was some of the most challenging times in my life. But I learned the
Man.
most out of off of that. But
And was
yeah,
it that was your first? Because you said you had did some time, and
yeah, 2020,
but
but
that
that's
wasn't nothing
nothing
compared.
compared to
Yeah, it's like
the feds where you walk in and you don't really have a choice to go to a group like. So I'm from Ohio. We the Midwest card when it comes to the feds. They had me in FCI Berlin. That's in New Hampshire. That's over 1,000, almost 1,000 miles away from Cincinnati.
man.
And when you get there, you got to show your paperwork within 2 weeks, or you got to get checked in or checked up. So, and everybody is familiar with the system, know what checked up, checked out, or checked up means. So,
Explain people that ain't
but
familiar.
if you don't know, either if you don't have that paperwork in 2 weeks, either you can check yourself in and go to the hole and come back out when you get it, or if you try to buck the system and buck everybody, your car, your group of people that's supposed to be your brothers or whatever in there, gonna get you out of there. More than likely gonna stab you up because don't nobody fight in the feds. You can't even fight people in the feds. You have to ask permission to fight people because one thing you do affect everything. So you're gonna have 30,
Wow.
40 grown men trying to stab each other. Like so it's a lot of more politics. So for me going in there at 21, coming from fuck everybody, I ain't gotta listen to nobody mindset. How
You was a
young,
young man.
yeah, I was a YN. I
Yeah.
went on- so
Yeah.
I'm coming there with that mindset. Then you start seeing like, oh nah, this is serious. This not no little boy
Mhm.
game. And then a lot of people say, well, you just did that little time. But what I try to remind people of, it's not 100% you're gonna make it out of jail. Yeah, you might get 1 or 2 years right now, but is you gonna make it out of there? Is you strong enough to survive? Because a lot of people not strong enough. A lot of people don't make it out of jail.
For
You will
sure.
get you will lose your life in jail just like you'll lose your life on the streets. And you
Mhm.
will lose it in the jail kind of faster because you bump somebody's shoulder in jail, they ready to cut your head off because they got 3 life sentences and they ain't never going home. So they don't care. It's the
Mhm.
smallest things. And I learned coming back out to keep that. And I haven't lost that with it. And I've been out 3 years right now. Made it off of probation. Had 3 years probation. I made it off. So and I'm just in a different direction with my life right
Congrats to
now.
you
Mhm.
on that, to
Thank you.
saying like you learned your lesson, because a lot of guys they come out and they don't learn them lessons. They don't look at it, they don't assess
Mm.
everything. If
Or just do the same thing. Like
Mhm.
you just literally going back to the same way of life. It's crazy to me. That's insanity. People say if you do the same thing, expect to get the different results. That's
You
insanity.
insane.
So I
That's
ain't
what they
want to
say.
be insane no more.
For sure. Nah, that's what's up. Salute to you on that, and that maturity that kicked in, even with you still being young, and knowing that that's a good
And
thing.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It's better easy said than done. I don't want to sit here like I'm perfect and I got it all figured out because I'm still learning and I still have to look in the mirror every day and tell myself some of the advice or some of the things I say right now. Still have to
Hmm.
reassure myself like, yeah, just give yourself them talks sometimes. Sometimes you might find yourself slipping. You just pick yourself back up and dust off like, nah, let's refocus. So
Nah, for sure.